All right, welcome to the Sauced Hockey Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Charlie.
And what are we going to talk about today, Charlie?
Do the Predators suck?
Yeah.
We have not had the best last few games since we reported last week on Reality Check. And it's not really a reality check anymore. It feels more like last season. And we're going to just talk about around the league scores and highlights and finish today with our featured cards.
And I can go ahead and give some breaking news we have for the Nashville Predators before we get into our discussion on do the Nashville Predators suck or not. Brady Martin, as of 11 a.m. this morning, so 1 hour ago, has been reassigned to the SOO Greyhounds, his OHL team. So Brady Martin played, I think, 3 games in total. Recorded, I think, maybe 1 assist, a couple shots on goal. I think most of the time out there looked okay, but maybe not NHL ready. So cool for him to get the experience, and now they're sending him back down, and I'm sure he's going to be a great staple on the team for years to come. Would be my guess. It'll be exciting to see how he grows and develops, and watch his season down in with the Greyhounds. What did you think about Martin's performance? We got to see his debut, his Predators debut, his NHL debut, which is cool. We were there live against Columbus, and second youngest player to ever start for the Nashville Predators, only beat by a few days by Scott Hartnell, and joined Scott Hartnell and Seth Jones as the only 3 Nashville Predators to make their debut the same year they were drafted. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool company to be with. Scott Hartnell and Seth Jones both had or are having great careers. So what were your thoughts on Martin?
He made some good plays and he made some bad plays. But I think sooner or later he's definitely going to get reassigned.
Yeah, we kind of expected it.
And grow.
Yeah, agreed. And I think one of the things I like the most is like his attitude. You know, he was just embracing the opportunity, the challenge. Felt like, man, I can be here. I can be on this team. And the veteran leadership really commented on the enthusiasm that he brought to practice and brought to the locker room, which are all good signs for the future that maybe he can one day be a great leader on the Predators team. So hopefully it's not like a blow to his confidence. I doubt it is. This is a normal part of, with the exceptions of like, you know, Connor McDavid, Connor Bedard, Macklin Celebrini type players, often you're going to go back down. Oh, and joining that list, I'm sure we'll touch on this when we go around the league, Matthew Schaefer, this year's first overall pick, proving why he was the first overall pick. I think he has a point every game. I mean, the kid is unreal.
He definitely looks like NHL ready straight out of the draft.
Yeah, not even just NHL ready, like top line defenseman, maybe in the running for the Norris Trophy. Like, this kid's good, and he's not even on that good of a team. So, I mean, that's going to be super exciting to watch. But that's a good example, right, of like how noticeable he is already on the ice compared to Brady Martin. When he's on the ice, he might even be a liability. So, you know, there's just different levels to a first round draft pick, and we're seeing Matthew Schaefer stand out as one of the best, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Charlie, we sat here 1 week ago and said that the Toronto Maple Leafs loss was a reality check for the Nashville Predators. Here we sit 4 games later. 3 games later?
3 games later.
3 games later, yeah. Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday. And we lost all 3. We are on a 4-game losing streak. Do the Nashville Predators suck?
Based off of our recent performance, it looks like a repeat of last season. And I really hope we turn things around because I'm starting to get scared.
Yeah. After the first couple losses, it was like, no problem. That was Toronto. They're a good hockey team. Thursday, we go into Montreal, are winning the game 2-1. Marchessault tries to get an empty netter, gets blocked by Lane Hudson, which is just like, man, I know you're trying to score the empty netter, but can you wait just a little bit longer and get around that defenseman? Like, there's no goalie, and Hudson blocks it, immediately gets the puck down the ice to Goal Caulfield, who, like, no problem, snipes it in to tie the game with 20 seconds left. Goes to overtime. Who wins the game?
Goal Caulfield.
The kid's amazing. So props to the Canadians. We've talked about them a lot on this podcast. Super fun to watch. Young team. But, man, that one hurt for the Predators. So now I'm thinking, okay, back-to-back losses. And that one stings. But you're still like, yeah, but we were about to win. We got a point out of it. You're still feeling okay. You won one, lost one, overtime loss. That's not a terrible road trip so far.
Yeah.
Right? 1-1-1.
That's an okay
We
road
beat
trip.
Ottawa, lost to Toronto, lost in overtime to Montreal. Okay. Brings us to Saturday. Now, we're at a Halloween party Saturday, so we didn't watch, the whole game. But we come home to see the ending, and what happens? Against the Winnipeg Jets, who easily one of the best in our division, maybe the best. President's Trophy winners last year.
And we get hammered, 4-1?
Yeah, absolutely hammered. Now, I will say in the second period, I did watch quite a bit of the second period. We got hella bucked in the second period. We threw a lot of shots up and had some great chances, and Hellebuck just made some incredible saves. That's what the Jets can do. They can sit in their zone sometimes and just let shots come on goal and just sit behind Hellebuck. Like, yeah, we're good. Good luck scoring, buddy. Especially when they have a lead. They just make sure they don't give you any incredible chances, and they let you take random shots. And we got Hellebuck there. But, overall that game, the Jets just dominated us,
Yeah.
So, okay, we finished the road trip 1-2-1.
And by that point, we're like, okay, time to start turning things around. Let's get a few wins.
Feeling a little nervous, but a little hopeful still, Preds aren't doing, we're 2-2-2 at that point on the season.
Could be doing worse.
Yeah, it could be worse, sitting in a wild card spot or just out of a wild card spot, going into a 5-game homestand, which brings us to last night's game against the Anaheim Ducks, who are right next to us in the standings at that point. Young team, new coach, Jonathan Toews, new leadership joining the group as well. We've been talking about the Ducks since last year. They're exciting to watch, kind of similar to the Canadians. Maybe not as of last year, as far along in their development. But as of last night, what'd you think?
I was before the game, I thought this was a game we could win. And, going into the first period, the Ducks got a goal, and we got a goal. And I was like, this is still fine. Then in the second period, like that again, 1 goal for each team. And then we go into the third, and they score 3 goals.
Yeah.
And through the first and second, we got a few, we were pressuring them in their own zone. But then in the third, we just weren't controlling the game.
Yeah. We let them take over. I saw Roman Josi talk about it after the game last night. He said, I feel like most of their goals we gave them. We made it easy. We let them play their game. We played a terrible game. And that's it. That's why we lost. We let them play the way they want to play. And when we talk about the way the Ducks want to play and the way the Jets played, it's showing that whatever our system is, our style of play, we're having a hard time implementing it, not just against the best teams, But against most teams, young up-and-coming teams, really, really good older teams, our system just doesn't seem to work. And I think that was a lot of the issue that Predators fans had last year is like, okay, we've got all this talent with Forsberg, Yossi, Stamkos, O'Reilly, Marchessault, Saros. You look at that roster, Brady Shea, you should say like, okay, this team should be able to be something. And we're not. We're terrible. It makes you go like, is it the players or is it the coaching and the system? And I think now we're going to be back into that spot asking the same question, which is a really tough spot to be as a fan, but it's got to be a really hard spot to be for the team too, to have all these doubts circling in your mind all the time. Andrew Brunette, the coach, has got to be feeling that pressure too. Like, man, we better get our system working or I'm probably going to get fired. And I feel still too early in the season, but we cannot wait much longer if we're going to make a change because nobody wants to sit through what we sat through last season. That was awful. It was miserable. We didn't seem like we were ever competitive. So my hope, just like you, that they turn this around. They got 5 or 4 more home games, but they're not going to be easy. Who do we have this week?
We have the Canucks next, right?
Canucks next, they're like hot and cold so far this year. So Canucks. Then this weekend, back-to-back against Kings and Stars. Yeah. So next few games are going to be a real test for the Nashville Predators, and we're going to be watching every game. We watched every game last year. We're not going anywhere. We're not giving up on our team. We're here. If we're terrible, maybe we got a chance at Gavin McKenna to save us, but that's not what you want. I don't think you want to tank for one player, especially when it's a lottery. You don't even know that, like, you tanked for a whole season and then don't even get the guy that you tanked for. That's frustrating. So I'm not sure it's worth tanking. I think hopefully you just see if these guys can figure it out and try to make a push for the playoffs. Even just be in the mix, in the hunt at the end of the season so the games mean something. You're like, oh, come on, we win this, we're going to be back in the wild card spot. And once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen, right? So then it's exciting. You get to watch your team in that first round matchup and see if they can get past into the next round. And we think back to that 2017 run where we were the 8th seed and we swept the number 1 team, Chicago Blackhawks, in the first round. It basically put them on the run that they're just now starting to recover from. That's when they started to suck. So it's a very interesting time for the Nashville Predators, to say the least. When you look at the plays that the teams like the Ducks and the Jets can make, they make these beautiful passing plays and set up these nice goals. How often do you see the Predators actually pull one of those off?
I don't know.
When I think back to like wow goals, like wow moments recently, I think like Forsberg makes a play all by himself at that game we were at to get around the defender and snipe one home past Vemelka, right? I think of that same game of the goal Yossi got waved off where Forsberg makes a nice pass to Yossi, gets around the defender, and it was called for offsides. But like Yossi snipes home a shot off a nice pass from Forsberg. That doesn't happen that often for us. When we try to make a nice tic-tac-toe play, like I think McCarron and Cole Smith had like a couple chances like that last night, and Ozzy Weisblatt, like that 4th line. But they're not skilled enough to make it work. Like it almost always goes wide. Someone misses the puck. Like it just falls apart. And some of these other teams can do it so seamlessly. There's zip, zap, zip, it's in the net, and tic-tac-toe. And it's so cool to watch. And I don't remember the last time I feel like our team was hitting those really well. Like we're seeing even our stars, Yossi and Stammer and Forsberg and stuff, we're seeing them like mishandle the puck. I remember Evangelista getting set up on a nice shot last night and he just like mishandles it, doesn't even get the shot off, and now it's a turnover and the other team's going the other way. Who Evangelista's actually looked pretty good the last couple games.
Yeah.
But we just need cleaner passing setup plays,
Uh-huh.
You can get away without it. You just got to be like offensive zone pressure, dirty goals, getting in front of the net. But I feel like we're not even doing that well, So we got to figure out our identity and our system and try to make it work a little better. So next game tomorrow night
Against the Canucks.
You got any predictions?
Yeah, as you said, the Canucks can be good and they can be mediocre. I still don't have a great feeling about this one, but I hope something clicks and we dig in and get a win somehow.
Yeah, it would be really good for the team. This 4-game losing streak is terrible, and if it goes much longer, I think you're going to start to see it carry over into the way the players carry themselves and the confidence they have when they're on the ice. And last year we started with a 5-game losing streak, and everyone's been talking this last week like, oh, well, at least it's better than last year. But is it really that much better if instead of having a 5-game losing streak to start, you win a couple, but then go on a 5-game losing streak? Like, does that change that much about the team? So I am glad we started better, but hopefully we can figure this out. Brady Martin now gone, so you won't have that question anymore. Kimmel now gone. I think that's one of the things that frustrates Predators fans too, is like, if we're going to suck, can we at least get the young guys up here so they develop a little quicker into being NHL ready? Like, let them just have this season to figure it out. Put Kimmel up here, put Brady Martin up here, put guys like who are some Tanner Molendijk, like, can we just get some of these guys in the lineup? If the team's going to be so bad, does it really make that much of a difference? Why are we playing Tyson Jost,
Yeah.
instead of these guys? But then again, like, Joe scored last night, right? So
Off of a nice play.
yeah. So we'll see. Lots of question marks still for who is this team really. But as of this week, we're leaning towards kind of starting to look like last year. Well, should we take it around the league? Anything else on the Preds?
Yeah, let's take it.
I like your shirt, by the way.
Uh-huh.
This was the
opening night
T-shirt given out only in Smashville.
And on the back, it has the entire schedule
for the year. Yeah, it looks awesome. All right, let's see what we got here. NHL. Tonight, 7:30 on TV, Red Wings versus Sabres. It says, for Todd's sake, McClellan holding Red Wings accountable. Team responds with 5 straight wins. This is referencing the Detroit Red Wings, who them and a few other teams, but the Red Wings seem to be the hottest, lost their first game of the year. Since then, haven't won. What this is referencing is Todd McClellan came out just ripping into the team about being accountable for how bad they played after the first game. And he's such a respected coach in the league. I think it really made a difference, and the players went out and they look incredible. Red Wings look like they might be a playoff team again. That's so good for the NHL. They're just such a staple in the league, original team.
And they have this random kid who I didn't know about, Emmett Finney.
7th rounder.
He's getting 3-point games right now.
Yeah. Is he their new Pavel Datsyuk is what people are saying. Just this crazy pickup that nobody knew was going to turn into a star. That'd be super fun. So there they are, Red Wings on top of the Atlantic Division, 5 straight wins. And in the Metropolitan, New Jersey Devils, same situation, 1 loss and then 5 straight wins. Not as many people talking about the Devils, but Jack Hughes gets a hat trick last night. I think he scored a bunch in the last few games. I want to say it's 6 goals or something in the last few. So Devils look really good. Hurricanes were undefeated until Monday night, where they were just destroyed by the Vegas Golden Knights, who are one of the other best teams in the league. So they're playing without Jacob Slavin, though, right now. Their best shutdown D. And you really need him when you're playing a team with a player as hot as Jack Eichel. We'll see the stats in just a minute, but Eichel's up on top of the stats leaderboard. What else stands out to you in the East?
Yeah, we talked about the Canadians earlier. They're looking great. Penguins are on a streak.
Yeah, 3-game win streak for them. Justin Brazeau, another 3-point night the other night. Like,
oh my God.
What is this? I'm about to put him on my fantasy team if someone hasn't picked him up yet. Florida Panthers still hanging on to their third place in the Atlantic. I think a lot of Panthers fans feel like, hey, we don't care if we win the division. We're missing our leaders, Kachuk and Barkov. Just let the team hang on and ride this out. We're going to make the playoffs as a wild card or number 3 seed or something. Barkov's going to come back at the end of the year. All of a sudden, the Panthers win a cup again. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
They have to hang on and get a playoff spot.
So far, it looked like they're not going to have an issue. I mean, 4-4 is not great. They're at 500, but they just got to do the bare minimum. I feel like that whole team feels like if we get in and our players come back, the rest doesn't matter. Then you take it over. I mean, Leafs are struggling a little bit. Their team doesn't look like it has any chemistry. Did you hear what Anthony Stolar said after the game?
No.
He was mad. He got run over again, which happened to him in the playoffs. Remember, he got injured. I think Sam Bennett hit him. But in their game the other night, he got hit early in the game. No Maple Leafs stood up for him or fought for him or anything like that. And then in overtime, they lose, and Nylander got criticized for having a bad back check. Like, he didn't skate hard to get back and defend, and they snipe one past Stolarz, and I think in a odd man breakaway or odd man rush. And so Stolarz is saying after the game, like, we got to play better. That was a bad back check. Nobody's standing up for each other. I'm getting run. We need to start running the other team's goalies and standing up for me when I get run. And I was like, whoa, to say all that stuff to the press, to put it out in public is tricky, because that starts to create some drama in the locker room and some tension. So Maple Leafs are going to have to figure this out. Rangers, I think, still haven't won at home. Yeah, look, they're 0-4 at home, 3-0-1 away.
And their first 3 games at home were shut out.
Yeah, they didn't score a single goal. So that's crazy. Columbus hanging in there at 500. Islanders, I mean, Matthew Schaefer pulling them up. Bruins started hot, 1-3, lost 5 in a row. And that's about it. The rest of the team. I mean, this one's surprising.
The Lightning
in last place.
I would not have expected that. And Nikita Kucherov only has 2 points this season.
What happened to the Tampa Bay Lightning? That's crazy. And we take it down to the West. What jumps out to you here?
The Avalanche are still freaking amazing. Haven't lost in regulation. Neither have the Golden Knights. And they just have amazing players pulling them. Avalanche, Barton-Nakis, and Nathan McKinnon, unstoppable.
Yeah. Plus Cale Makar on the back end.
Eichel, who has almost 20 points.
Insane.
And Mark Stone was doing amazing until he got put on IR.
Dorofiev's leading the league in goals. So Golden Knights, yeah, and Avalanche look incredible. Avalanche last night tie the game with a snipe from Natchez. Nasty shot. There was a spot about this big between Vemelka's head and the post. And
Wow.
Natchez just puts it, I think it just barely bounced off the helmet and right into this little hole to tie the game. But they don't win. Utah Mammoth win in overtime with who? Same guy that roasted the Preds.
Dylan Guenther.
Dylan Guenther beat us in overtime. He beat the Avalanche in overtime. Somebody the other day in overtime. I think he's got 3 OT winners already. The guy is just somehow unstoppable in overtime. So really cool for the Mammoth fans. I mean, they're in third with the Jets right there on top, who have won 5 in a row after crushing us the other night. So not only do the Predators suck, but our division is so good. Like, look at if we take this to division, like, look at the Central.
Avalanche 12 points, Jets 10 points, Mammoth 10 points, Blackhawks 8 points, Blues 7, Wild 7, Stars 6, and Preds 6.
Literally every team except us is at least 500.
Wow.
We are the only team with a losing record.
I'm surprised is that the Stars are 7th in our division.
Like, you take it to the Pacific, look, the Flames are 1-4-3, San Jose 1-6-7, Kings 4-2-9. Like, they've got 3 teams below 500. Okay, the Metropolitan, only 1 team below 500. So they're also, I wouldn't consider them stacked, though. I guess it's just that the Devils and Hurricanes are so good. Penguins are playing good. Capitals playing good. So, I mean, I just don't look at those teams nearly as scary as the Central Division teams for some reason. Maybe it's just because we're so used to watching the Central Division. I don't know. But then in the Atlantic, 1, 2, 3, 4 teams below 500. Like, the Atlantic Division is just terrible, which makes it even easier for the Panthers to sneak into a playoff spot still. Okay, back over to the West. We talked about Vegas. Canucks, I mean, in second in their division. So they're coming into the game in Nashville on Thursday night. Like, they're doing fine, you know?
Yeah.
Blackhawks actually look like they're figuring it out. Bedard looks good. Nazar looks good. Yeah, they're gonna be good. Blues are still hanging on to a playoff spot. Ducks are on the hunt. You know, Oilers are at some point going to turn it up. That reminds me. Last night you told me McDavid scored his first. Who else?
Isaac Howard and Jake Wallman all scored their first goals of the season last night.
Which is super cool. McDavid said coming into the year, this year, I'm going to score lots of goals. I'm going to shoot and I'm going to score, which everyone's like, dude, that's scary. Hearing McDavid say, I'm going to score a lot this year is kind of scary. Then he goes into the season and doesn't score.
He gets 7 assists with no goals until he scores last night.
Yeah, finally that was game 7 for them. He gets his first one, which is just funny to me. But I also found out that was Jake Wallman's first start. He hadn't played yet. He got the OT winner with a bomb. Just bang, slap shot, goal. And does a little celebration dance after. So
he's known for his celebrations in overtime and stuff.
So we'll see if the Oilers figure it out. I mean, Wild are obviously they're going to be there with Kaprizov and stuff. Stars is a little surprising. Slow start for them. Lost 3 in a row after winning 3 to start the season. So maybe we've got a chance against the Stars on this weekend. And same with the Kings. They're right there with us at 2-3-2. So at least we're in good company.
Yeah.
With the Kings and the Stars. At least we're in good company. But I don't know. I just feel different because the Preds went through this all year last year. It feels less likely that we're going to figure it out. But maybe I should think the opposite. Maybe we should think, you know what? Since the Predators already had a year of this, they're going to figure it out faster.
Hopefully.
They've got more experience sucking. We're going to figure out how to not suck fast. I'll try to be optimistic. San Jose still hasn't won a game. I mean, the poor guys. At least, I know for sure that at least No Sleeves.
No Sleeves right now.
is pumped. He's hoping for at least one of the top 2 picks for either that Ehrhoff kid or Gavin McKenna.
And like we said earlier, even if they are worst in the league, they might not even get the top 2 picks.
That's exactly right. And then the Flames finish out on bottom. Even though they've won a game and the Sharks haven't yet, they're 1-6. The Sharks at least have 2 overtime losses. So that's that around the league. Let's take a look at the stats. Take it away.
Jack Eichel 16 points.
Insane. Through
That
7
is
games.
incredible. And then his teammate, Mark Stone, with 13 points. I picked him up on my fantasy team recently, and I'm like, let's go. Nylander, 13 points. Larkin, 11. Nikas. Jesper Bratt with 10. Shifley. Boldy with 10. Nick Suzuki. And Kirill Kaprizov.
And leading the league in goals there.
Dorofeyev with Shifley and Pinto at 7.
That's cool. Take it down to defensemen, of course. Cale Makar
But
on
then
top.
it goes Shane Gostisbehere and Matthew Schaefer.
So that's like, I mean, even down to Harley, Chikrin, Morgan, Riley, Adam Fox, we're used to see him. Luke Hughes, Rasmus Dahlin, Dmitry Orlov. Like, where's Quinn Hughes?
Give me Quinn Hughes.
Where's Roman Yossi?
Zach Werenski.
Where's Zach Werenski? So a little different top of the list defenseman points so far this year. I heard Carolina, like, they're playing so good right now. One of the people that represents their team was on Spit and Chicklets talking about it yesterday and said every single defenseman really is like playing lights out, and they're especially pleased with how well Keandre Miller is fitting into the team. And he mentioned Gostisbehere too, like how they're just leading the way, especially while Jacob Slavin is out. Take it over to the Calder Trophy race.
Matthew Schaefer with 7. He's probably, I think he might take it. Beckett Seneca.
We saw him last night. He hurt the Preds for sure.
Emmett Finney, as we talked about earlier.
That's just a cool one.
Ivan Demidov was the one everyone was expecting coming into the season.
And he's up there with it. So, I mean, this can change a lot as the season goes on. It's going to be interesting to watch.
And Steve Williams, who looks great.
So does Snuggerud. And so does Nikishin, defenseman for the Carolina. They were talking about him, too. He's playing great. Gritsyuk, I haven't really watched much Devils yet this year. I have noticed Kapanen in the Canadiens games, and this kid I haven't noticed at all, Max Grover. Up to goalies, still on top.
Igor Shesterkin.
And now we'll start seeing, like last week when we were looking at goalie stats, some of them had only played 1 game and stuff. So you'll still see that a little bit, but it's going to start to level out as even backups now will start to have played another game or 2. But not yet. Like Onanen has still only played 1 game for the Preds. Yeah. Saros has played everything else.
Logan Thompson, Jakob Dobish.
Maybe going to take the spot from Montembeault. Maybe take over because Montembeault has not been great.
Dan Vladar, he's like 6'9".
Yeah, he's huge.
Cam Talbot.
Good for him.
Former Predator Scott Wedgwood.
He's awesome, and he's holding it down while Mackenzie Blackwood is hurt, so that's cool.
Jake Allen, Spencer Knight.
Spencer Knight's been really good.
I forgot about that trade.
Yeah, he's been really good for the Blackhawks.
Brandon Busty, I still don't really know anything about him, and Vitek Vanacek.
Going over to save percentage, which we see Saros has fallen out of the top 10. He had a couple, like last night, 5 goals against. Winnipeg, I think 4 goals against, maybe. Something like that.
Oh, yeah, 4 goals against.
So these last 2 games have really hurt Saros' stats. He still, you were saying, though, still looks really good. Mm-hmm. It's more like last night, so many of those goals are not on him. They're just on the team giving up a 2-on-1 or, a backdoor tap in that Saros has no chance of stopping. Yeah, save percentage pretty much about the same as goals against average. And nobody leading the way really in shutouts yet. So that's it for stats. Let's take a look. What do we got on deck tonight? If you want to watch some hockey tonight, there's Wild versus Devils at 7. That'll be a good one. Red Wings, Sabres. I would imagine the Red Wings just smoke them, but Sabres have had a couple games recently where they were good. Canadiens, Flames. I mean, I would imagine the Canadiens easily take that one. But you never know with hockey. Like, anyone can win any game. Even the worst teams beat the best teams sometimes. So that's, I think, one of the best things about our sport. And, of course, we'll be tuning in on Thursday nights to the Canucks and Predators at 8 p.m. So that's about it for today. Time to get to our featured cards of the day. You want to go first?
Okay. The other day, we opened our first Upper Deck packs of the year and pulled some cards.
Yeah, Upper Deck Series 1 came out last week. We stopped by a hobby shop in Knoxville that had happened to be carrying them. Got a pack.
This guy happened to beat us last night. And these blue Dazzlers cards, Frank Fagiano, they're kind of rare.
Yeah, that's a cool one. The Dazzlers looks really cool too. I'm gonna stick with the Preds. I'm staying strong as a fan. I want to shout out world champion, best fourth line center in the league. Maybe that might be a stretch, but Michael McCarron. How's that look?
A little bit out of focus. It's fine. But yeah, there we go.
Good.
I'm done.
Michael McCarron. And we've got, let's see, 6'6", 232 pounds from Michigan. You know, not known for his scoring, but stands up for his team. He got in a fight last night. Team's doing awful. Everyone's frustrated. He shows up, answers the bell, drops the gloves, takes like a hard right hand to the visor that cuts his face. All right, up next.
I don't know how to do this.
Oh, we've got a first timer on the podcast.
Do I hold it up here?
Yeah, you can hold it up. Who you got there?
The captain.
The captain.
Roman Josi.
Okay.
One and only. I don't even know how to read the statistics on the card.
Yeah.
But big Roman Josi fan here. Heard recently that they did some kind of vote, right? Between Roman Josi and Luke Evangelista.
Oh, yes. For best looking athlete.
Best looking athlete. And first of all, very important, that's objectification. And I wholeheartedly believe that that's wrong. But probably more importantly, whoever was in charge of that vote was also wrong because Luke Evangelista won. And no offense, Luke Evangelista, I'm sure you're just absolutely a cutie patootie, but do they have eyes? I can't read these statistics, but I can see this face, and this should have been the winner of that vote. So
I agree, actually.
Thanks for having me on this podcast.
I agree. Thanks for dropping in, Mommy. Thanks for dropping
Very
in.
important information. Roman Josi, okay?
Good featured card of the day to Mommy. Okay, does that wrap us up for today?
Yeah.
Well, everyone, do all the things. Like, share the video. Still trying to get this podcast going, so give us some help. Share it with some other Preds fans or hockey fans. And tell us, do you think the Nashville Predators suck? Or is this a fluke? Are we going to figure it out? We're just getting started. We'll see you guys next week. Anything else?
Nope. Stay saucy.
Stay saucy. Bye, everybody.